Hi, I'm Charlotte, and this is Chatting with Charlotte, where I share conversations, life hacks, and inspirations to help you on your healing journey from childhood trauma. So today I want to kind of continue with what I've been talking about over the last two videos, and that is managing success as a trauma survivor. And I've talked about it in a couple of ways in the two previous videos, and you can watch those by clicking on the link above. But I want to talk today about what dealing with success is like for someone with a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, because I really think that's a lot of what's going on with me right now. And even though I didn't recognize it really as that until this morning, I've been thinking about it and identifying the angst that I've felt and some of the fear that I've felt. It kind of makes sense. So this morning I had a really good conversation with a really dear friend of mine, and we were talking about all the different things that were going on in our lives that were good, and that it really seems like plans are falling into place and that God is kind of working things out for both of us right now. And we both kind of talked a little bit about how we were excited, but there were these little things in the back of our heads that were kind of keeping us from fully embracing the joy of what's happening in our lives. And for me, I actually identified to her that for me, the anxiety is really around my fear that I'm going to do something that's going to screw the whole thing up, and that it will be my fault because I will say something that offends somebody, or I will do something that's hurtful, or I'll make a really bad blunder, and everybody will think, oh, well, what business does she have writing a book? Or someone that reads it will think that, I'm lying. All of those different things come into my head. And the fear that a close friend is going to leave me is really a dominant fear. Now, it's not, when I say dominant, it's not like it's taking over my life by any means, because that has not happened in years. But I have noticed that I am much more sensitive to relationships, and I'm sensitive to not hearing from someone when I text them or when I leave them a message. And I realize that is part of the borderline personality disorder. And it's not nearly as intense as it was when I was in the middle of the worst part of that. But it is there. And so what I want to share with you is that as you heal and as you go through the journey to healing, that you will probably always have those little things, those perks in the back of your head, even when you get to the place where you feel pretty confident and where you've learned how to cope with all of the triggers like I have, or most of the triggers like I have. There's still going to be times when some of that comes up. And when it does, what's important is that you recognize what it is. And why is that important? Because if you recognize it for what it is, you can put a stop to it. And you can talk to someone like I did this morning, who understands, even though that's not her issue, but she understood, and we were able to talk through it. And so what I would encourage you, if you have that diagnosis of borderline personality disorder and you begin to have some successes in your life and you start to hear those little things in your head, that it's important to talk with someone that can help you get grounded again, and to realize that those really are not the truth. That the truth is you are being successful, and that most likely you're not going to do something that's going to make it all go bad. Now, if you sit in that thought, if you do that, then there is a chance that, in fact, you will do something that is going to cause there to be an issue. But if you recognize it early, you talk to someone who will talk you down from that anxiety and that mountaintop or that cliff, and help you get grounded, then most likely it won't. And so that's just a little bit of encouragement. I was able to do that today just simply by talking to my friend and realizing within myself that that's where that was coming from. And so I hope that this will help you, if you have that diagnosis, to realize that it doesn't feel simple. And I know that, because in the middle of mine, when those thoughts would start happening, I was absolutely convinced that it was true. And I would usually do the self-fulfilling prophecy, and I would sabotage something. But you don't have to do that. You can stop it, because if you capture it while it's in the back of your head and not let it come to the front of your head, then you can stop the process in its tracks, and then you can enjoy your success. So I hope that was helpful. I want to let you know that my book is free on Kindle Unlimited right now for members of Kindle Unlimited. You can download it for free up until Saturday, June 26th. Then after that, it's still available, but it won't be free. And then it is also available online at most retail outlets. So I would just ask that you take a look and that you purchase it if you would like to see what it's about. Please subscribe and hit the notification button so that you can not miss any of my videos. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye now.